Hi, family and folks, family and friends. Love you all. So, oh God, I just got done boo-hooing to myself. But, anyways, as I'm sitting here at my desk, I wanted to give you guys an update on my grieving process of losing my son. It's going pretty well, and I'm in counseling for it. But sometimes when I'm alone for extended periods of time, I go inward. And I just started thinking about my son and how much I truly miss him and wish that I could do anything to bring him back home to me and my family. But I know I can't. And I know that's not being realistic. But I want to share with you something that I'm reading about grief, understanding grief and loss. Okay? Grief is for those of us who understand, no explanation is needed. For those of us who do not, no description is possible. Grief is personal and individual, and every person experiencing its nuisance differently. Your personality, your support system, your natural coping mechanism, and many other things will determine how loss will affect you. There are no rules, no timetables, no linear progression. Some people feel better after a few weeks or months, and for others, it may take years. And in the midst of recovery, there may be setbacks. And this nonlinear process can't be controlled. It's critical that you treat yourself with patience and compassion and allow the process to unfold. Below, you'll find some insights into the stages and symptoms of grief. We've also collected some advice from professionals about how to best get through the grieving process. We hope the following information will help you reach a place in your process where, in spite of your grief, you are better able to function and live on a daily basis. Grief is often described in stages. Oh yes, there's so many of them. But you gotta embrace them. Embrace the stages. I want to embrace every stage of the grieving process because I want to feel each one of them. I don't ever, ever want to forget my son's voice, his smile, his tone of voice, the way he stood, the way he looks at me, talked to me. I want to hold on that forever. But I know I got to stop stuffing. I got to stop stuffing and I need to go through the process. I need to grieve. It's healthy, it's good, and I want to understand it. I never wanted to be in this position or place that I'm in with the grieving process. But here I am. This is my new reality. And I live with this new reality every day of my life. I'm making a video, sweetheart. I just seen your message. But anyways, so grief is often described in stages, though each stage may last for a different period of time. For some people, the stages may be briefer or longer than others, and some people may not experience all of them. But acknowledging that you may experience some or all of these stages will help you understand what may be happening. And you should not pass judgment on yourself or allow others to. You have the right to grieve and to fully experience your grief. Your feelings are normal, and it's important to remember that at some point it will get better. You may not get over your loss, but you will survive. You survive. The 5 general stages of grief, as described by Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Denial. Okay? This can't be happening. Anger. Why did this happen? Who is to blame? Bargaining. Make this not happen and I will do whatever. Depression. I can't bear this. I'm too sad to do anything. Acceptance. I acknowledge that this has happened and I cannot change it. So I had anger really bad. I went through denial. I bargained. I asked God to bring him back and take me. Depression, in and out of, and acceptance. I'm accepting it now. But I don't like it at all. While the 5 stages of grief may appear to be steps in a process, they are not. Even Kubler-Ross said that the stages are not meant to package up grief neatly. There is no typical loss, no typical grief. Grieving is as individual as we are and is not a linear process. Grief indicators, the common signs and symptoms of grief. Shock and disbelief. It's hard to accept death. You may feel numb and question whether the loss really happened. This isn't unusual, okay? Some have noted their initial reluctance even to notify others of a loss in case it turned out to be untrue. This is a normal reaction as it is still expecting your person to call, write, or show up, even if intellectually you have accepted their death. Let me tell you something, folks. Accepting the death of a child is one of the hardest things to do. I don't know how to explain it, but it's hard. Sadness. Profound sadness is a universal experience and can often lead to feeling aloneness or isolation. We sometimes believe that no one can understand the depths of our grief, which drives us deeper into sorrow. Guilt. You may feel guilt over things you said or did, or those you didn't and thought you should have. In cases of suicide, many people question whether they could have changed the outcome somehow, yet nothing can stand in the way of death or a final decision made by someone else to die. And over time, we have to acknowledge and accept that. Still, it's challenging to do in the early days or months of grieving. Here I was right here, anger. Angry at my son, God, myself. I was one angry human being. Regardless of how someone we love died, anger often comes into play. You may be angry with the person for not being here anymore, or with caregivers for not doing more. You may blame God or others, or you may not be able to direct your anger against a specific source, but find that daily small injustices seem much more significant than they might have in the past. This is normal, and no one should tell you that you must stop or let go of your anger. That will eventually, as part of your process on your timeline. So it'll go away eventually. fear. So my fear is I don't ever want to forget how my son looks, his tone of voice, how he talked, and how much he loved people in general. I want to always remember that. I don't care if I live to 100. I want to remember his voice. I want to remember his beautiful smile, his beautiful soul. A loss can trigger anxiety on many levels. Fear of your morality, losing those you love, and facing life without the person who died. It can include fear of the future and the uncertainty you may now feel about your life plans. Knowing that someone close to you has died, living life without my son, knowing that he ain't in the present on the planet living. I don't care if he was in another state, but knowing that he's not here in the physical anymore, I get panic attacks, family and friends, and it can be bad sometimes. Yeah. Okay, and then it goes on to say about physical pain. We often think of grief as emotional, but it can also manifest physically. Symptoms can include nausea, fatigue, lower immunity, weight loss or gain, insomnia, aches and pains, and more. Although it can be pretty difficult, it's essential to do what you can to maintain your health during the grieving process. And this is why I do these videos. It's to help others, but it's also to help myself, because I know I need healing. Ongoing triggers of grief, it talks about, let's see, I'm holding this. During the grief and after, many things can trigger and return. Goes on and on. Okay, here's some myths. The pain will go away faster if you ignore it. No, it doesn't. I'm here to tell you, it does not. Fact. Trying to ignore your pain or keep it from surfacing will only worsen it in the long run. It is necessary to face your grief and actively deal with it for natural healing. It's a myth. It's important to be strong in the face of loss. Fact. Feeling sad, frightened, or lonely is a normal reaction to loss. Crying doesn't mean I'm weak or you're weak. You don't need to protect your family or friends by putting on a brave front. Showing your true feelings can help them and you. Well, here it is. Here's my meltdown, my true feelings in this video. Myth. Grief should last about a year. Yeah, that's definitely a myth. Fact. There is no right or wrong time frame for grieving. How long it takes can differ from person to person. At Heal Grief, we believe that grief doesn't go away. We just learn how to manage it differently daily. Okay. And it tells you ways to take care of yourself. So, yeah. So, I am still grieving over the loss of my son. I miss him dearly. I talk to him every day. I talk about him every day. I mention him every day in a general conversation. I ride around this city. I think of him when he was little, when we used to go grocery shopping. He, Shayla, and I. Oh, there's my mop in my tub. Anyways, yeah, I'm getting through it, folks. This is an update. Grieving process over the loss of my son. He died February 17, 2022. And There are good days and there are ugly days. And right now I'm having an ugly moment with the emotions. But I wanted to be raw with it and I wanted to share it with you. I made another one before this one and I was really crying really bad. And I didn't want you guys to see all that. So I said, let me erase it and make another video. So, yeah. If you've ever been through the grieving process or you're going through it right now over the loss of a child, whether it's an infant or an adult, know that you're not going through it alone. But I highly encourage you to get counseling for it. Talk about your loss. Research how you could get some help. Love you during the process. It's okay. You're going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. Death seems so final. I just want to know that I'm going to see my boy one day. And I will feel complete again and happy once again. Oh, there's my dog. He loves his mommy. I love you too, Gambinos. Look, he matches my bed. It's okay to cry. It's okay not to have it all together. It's okay to grieve over a loved one. Don't bottle it up. It's gonna come out anyways, one way, one day. It will come out. So let it come. Deal with it. Embrace it. It's painful. It's very, very, very painful, but you got to embrace it because stuffing it, it's gonna kill you. Okay? Don't stuff it. I was stuffing it. Yeah. Don't stuff, okay? Don't do it. Just talk to that son or daughter that you lost, that you still love. God's gonna guide you through. He's gonna give you the resources, the people, the strength. He's gonna give you the know-how to get through all this. Oh, look at the kitten on my video. I don't own the copyrights to this beautiful video, but I wanted to add it into my video, the peaceful music. My hair's long, look. But anyways, I love you all. This is my update video on the loss of my son, okay? Bye for now, but one more thing. More than I love you, God loves you. Oops, I gotta wax my mustache. Like I said, this is a raw video. God loves you more than me, folks. You all have a nice, beautiful night. Until next time.